Welcome
And
to
we
it. We're on.
we're on. Yes. Hello. Good
Hello.
evening. I mean, good afternoon. Welcome to the show.
And
Malcolm.
what show are we and who are you?
Malcolm presents,
Right.
and I'm being presented now. I'm Phil Margo,
And
the
you're the
lion
lion that
roars,
roars?
and I'm still roaring.
And why are
Yes,
you
I'm the
roaring?
lion that roars. And
Because you slept all
so,
this
so,
quiet jungle.
so let's see. So first of all, today was an interesting day so far. Yesterday we found out that my daughter has the virus. So I mean Monday rather. So on Tuesday we ran and got tested. My wife and I got tested and we're negative. And my daughter is tired, but she's feeling better every day. She probably had it for a week or two, and is our guess as far as back as we can go. And and we were with her on Thanksgiving, which my brother-in-law, who's a doctor, says that it's not. He said it wasn't a time where it was contagious. So I don't know, but so far we tested negative, and next week we're going to take the long test. This week we took the quick test, the third 20-minute test. Still with the thing in the nostrils. No, so that's good. I mean that's what that is. Then I read, I don't know if we talked about I used to have three health insurances, LAUSD,
Yeah,
the teacher,
before you get
and
before you get into the union, I have a similar type of thing. My a son's girlfriend was test
oh
was tested positive for COVID. That
yeah,
was Monday. So I haven't seen her, but of course, Joshua has seen her, you know, pretty close. And he's going testing today, and I'm going to go testing tomorrow. Me, my wife, and my mother-in-law, because she's been over the house. And basically, I know it's a long test. This is
yeah,
where they give you a swab that you swab your mouth, and you do your tongue, your teeth, or all over. They put it in a sealed case, and you find out in about a day or so.
yeah. This was this the nose.
We haven't
They
had I
just
haven't had the nose yet.
they just did around the nose a couple of times, and then gave me gave us the information like in 20 minutes,
Yeah.
25 minutes. Wait, I'll show you.
You what? Oh, you disappeared. Oh, that's your
I
certificate,
know. Wait, I'm going to try to get you to
or is that your
see.
marriage
It
license?
says
What does it say?
anyway. That's what they gave me.
Oh, okay.
It says negative.
Yeah.
It says it
But I'll tell you,
says
it's frightening out there.
it says urgent coronavirus antigen nasal swab test result negative. That's what it says.
It,
So I'm
it,
negative.
but
But
it's frightening out
there
there.
are 200 numbers. 200. What?
It's frightening out there. You don't know, unless you lock
Yeah.
yourself up in the room.
270. 270. Well, it's amazing what people are talking about now. I find that it's so insane that this country might not survive. I mean, despite everything that's happened, despite the election, despite that, we're going to have sane people running the government instead of a bunch of morons and evil, greedy sons of bitches and bitches. And but the temperature of this country is really frightening. They're threatening the Trumpers are threatening Republicans. They're threatening the lives of Republicans. It's threatening the lives.
Yeah, I've heard
And
that. You got the guy in Georgia that
and and,
threatening calls.
and that idiot. No, yeah, well, the guy from Georgia who said that Chris Krebs should be taken out, drawn and quartered, and shot. Shot.
Yep. I
Big
heard that.
Shot said that. And then, of course, he walked up. He said it only as in as a come on, and everything that Trump said was a joke. Meanwhile, everything he said that was a joke, he did.
Right.
And there's this thing about not going after him after he leaves because it's not good for the country. That's bullshit. It's good for the country. No one's above the law. And the minute you let someone like him be above the law, you don't have a country. You don't have a democracy. You don't have freedom. You got nothing.
Well,
So all of democracy.
yeah.
No one who has any brains or investigated it, even Republican governors of states who said no. Joe Biden won this election clearly. There was no fraud. There was no tricks. There was no things, no ghosts from Venezuela, none of that stuff. And they still don't believe it. So what do you do with people like that? You have them start their own country and call it Nazi Germany. That's what you do. That's all.
What he's doing is he's making a sham out of the whole election process.
He's making a sham out of the whole United States of America, the whole democracy. He's going to pardon everybody, including himself? No. The fact that he didn't go to jail was an OLC memo written in 2000. An OLC memo? That's not the law. That's a memo. The Department of Justice, and now all of a sudden Barr comes out and says, well, there was nothing wrong with the election. All of a sudden, because he's looking to save his own ass. That's all.
Well,
Barr, another accessory to murder. Barr and Trump is that's negligent homicide, and the Senate, all those people who allowed him to get away with it is negligent homicide. 200,000 people plus. I would think 220,000 people died that didn't have to.
Well, they're about 200. I think what's the number now?
200.
270.
The Coliseum. Am I mad? Yes. Now you go. I'm going to be quiet.
Why?
I said enough.
No, you haven't. I mean,
something else. You're coming in and out, so I don't know when you're speaking or not. But I have 3 insurances. I have Medicare.
Yeah, now you're
teacher, and I had Screen Actors Guild, which I earned my life by earning enough money to have enough years to earn lifetime coverage. Okay, from Screen Actors Guild and Screen Actors SAG-AFTRA, lifetime coverage.
right.
That was the deal. That was what it was. That was it. My union. They were my union. They're there to protect the members, which is us, not their fucking buildings and not their other bullshit and their trips and their cars, just us. That's who they're there to protect. And then they said, you know what? We can't afford to give you health care anymore, so fuck off. Basically, that's what they did. And Ed Asner and I think Whoopi Goldberg and a bunch of other people finally filed a lawsuit with the LA Superior Court that they violated our rights, they violated as a union. And we'll see, courts historically have never sided on the side of people. They always side on the side of the union. Now, if it's a union, its whole main job is to protect the people, just like the president's main job. His oath to the Constitution is defend and protect the Constitution of the people, by the people, for the people. And he didn't do any of that. So I don't understand why anybody likes him. If anybody could explain to me any redeeming factor of this man at all, now he's a crybaby.
Well, the only thing that I have, as you know, I do a show called Conversations with Deborah. a bi-coastal dialogue, and it's a friend of mine, Deborah
Right.
Manning, who is pro-Trump. I don't know if you ever listened to the show. And it seems all along when I speak to her, she agrees with me. Then all of a sudden, number one, she thinks there was a lot of underhanded thing in the election. That it was that more has to be investigated. Then what she always comes back is Wall Street and how he improved jobs. The stock market went up, but everything else, when I talk to her, she agrees with me. How uh,
Didn't well,
streets
well, I
are
could disabuse you of the stock
maniacal.
market. The stock market was in the toilet when Obama took
Yep.
office. And without any help from the Republican Senate, not only did he pass Obamacare, which they said was a train wreck, it's terrible, it's awful. Remember that? It's
Yep.
awful, it's terrible, it's no good, it stinks. Get rid of it, it's a train wreck. 120, so now when Obama got the law passed, he made it with the idea, like every law that's passed, you make the law and then you fix it where it's necessary. But the
Well,
Republicans never wanted to fix it. They wanted it to go away. I mean, right now it's in front of the Supreme Court to be destroyed when people like it. I mean, 2018 was a perfect example. The Democrats ran on pre-existing conditions and the ACA, Obamacare, and they won because no one wants to be held for pre-existing conditions and not be able to get
my
insurance.
question is, what happened in the year 2000? How come the Dems, didn't take over Congress, didn't take over the Senate, and how come they lost seats in the House?
In
That I can
2000.
understand.
You mean this year?
Yeah,
Well,
20.
first of all, they didn't take over the Senate is not true.
Well,
We
they
don't know
still
that.
might.
We don't know that.
Right. We still
Okay.
might, hopefully.
And as far as the House is concerned, don't forget a lot of seats that the Democrats won in 2018 were very red areas.
You're very,
They were
very,
very red.
yeah.
So, and then there were all kinds of things that happened that I think they made a mistake. They should have focused more on it. But it doesn't matter. They still hold the House. Okay. And they won the presidency and they got rid of the most dangerous man to this country, including Hitler, because a house divided cannot
Yeah.
stand.
Well, Hitler was an outsider trying to break up this country.
Well,
Trump,
so is
it,
Putin, except
yeah,
Putin was
yeah.
inside.
But Trump is an insider. He's
Well, Putin,
insidious.
Trump is, a
Distrust
vote for
within.
Trump is a vote for Putin. I really believe that. I mean, I don't care what what Deborah says. To me, you vote for Trump, you vote for Putin. He's totally being, Putin's pulling the strings. He never said anything negative about a man whose main goal is to destroy the United States of America. That's it. I mean, what do you have to know? Do you have to know anything else about him? Even if he did the economy, which he didn't do the economy well. He screwed it up. And now look what you got. And now and the reason why people said the economy was good, because at the time they did that was when the rescue package was in existence and people were getting $600 a week, and that lost their jobs, and they would get people. I know I got $2,400 stimulus, which is very helpful to me. And but the way they did it was that they pointed a lot of the money towards upstairs, like Trump always does. And upstairs doesn't need the money. And Wall Street doesn't make people rich.
Yeah.
Wall Street just keeps.
Mm.
We invest in Wall because we want Wall Street to succeed. And I have a 401k. I don't want the stock market to go down, but it could simply by passing the heroes package and giving everybody money to survive until this thing goes away. But he didn't, because they want it to fall. They want this submarining and sabotaging it on purpose.
Well,
Everything they do. What?
there has to be another stimulus package. I mean, the first one was fine, but that was back in April.
Right, and the new one has been on that other piece of shit's desk. McConnell has been on his desk since May.
Well,
Since May.
the two disappointing things in the election, I wanted McConnell to be defeated and Lindsey Graham to be defeated, but they weren't.
Well, yes, I wanted McConnell to have a headache for 2 years, but it's not going to happen. But what did happen is, let's look at the good side. We have a Democratic administration that's going to get rid of all of those evil things that Trump did, like separating the children and all the immigration stuff and all of these executive orders, defunding and destroying the EPA, getting rid of all of the people who were at the CDC who knows how to handle, getting rid of the department at the White House that Obama set up because he dealt with the Ebola virus, so he knew it was needed, and he left it there for Trump, and Trump dissembled it. I mean, I don't know how anyone, if you could say Wall Street, and what is the other thing she said? Wall Street and what? The economy? No, something else she said. The election was a fraud. That no one found anything like that. No one. It's like Benghazi.
Well, she claimed also about the high employment rate for brown skinned people, but within blacks and the Latinos, that their rate of employment was the highest ever. And I'm not so sure about that.
No, it's not true. It's not the highest. It's bullshit. The country is suffering mainly. Everyone is suffering from either dying, getting sick, not having money, and daily having to deal with the bullshit that orange-haired bastard keeps saying every day. Okay? The president is supposed to make people feel good. Did he once say, "I'm really sorry that 270,000 people lost their lives"? Okay? Once. He didn't say it once. He didn't even regard it. How could she like a person who has... Did she have anybody that died, or did she know anybody that died?
Well,
come on, this is nonsense. I can't even deal with people like her. See, that's why there's this wall, because it's stupid. It's like Benghazi. They investigated Benghazi 30 times. They found nothing. They used every resource of the government to try to nail her on Benghazi. There was nothing done wrong. The emails, there was nothing done wrong. There was nothing done wrong. You think the Republicans, with all the investigations, and they had both the Congress and the Senate, they could have done whatever they wanted? They couldn't find a fucking thing. I mean, what does that say?
Well, anyway, it's gonna be interesting what's gonna happen.
Thank you very much.
It's gonna be interesting what happens when Biden comes in, when he takes over. Number one, do you think that Trump will come to the inauguration?
No.
Do you think he's in?
There's a Star Trek. I want to tell everybody something. There's a Star Trek episode called "The Squire of Gothos," and it was an alien planet, and William Campbell played the part of the Squire of Gothos, and he was an evil, evil man who had the power through the thing. He could make anything happen, right? And finally, I don't want to give it away. Finally, Kirk and his crew defeated him. And he walked off and he said, "I won, I won, I won, I won," like a nut. And what do you got now? You got the Squire of Gothos. I urge everybody, whoever watches this, to watch the Squire of Gothos. It was a Star Trek episode from the original series with William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy, from the original series from the 60s. The Squire of Gothos, Gothos, starring William Campbell was the Squire. It was great because it reminds me of Trump. I wish that the news would show that, because it's him.
You think supposedly they said the same day as the election, he's going to have a rally announcing his candidacy for 2024. You think that's?
I don't give a shit. Look at all the stuff he said. How much of what he said was a lie?
Oh, it's entirely, almost everything.
So I'm going to buy that?
No, I don't know. I'm asking your opinion. You think that will happen, or do you think that any of the Congress will go to his event and not go to the inauguration? That would truly split the
I'm
country.
not a fortune teller, but I can tell you that he will probably hold on to some of his base. I don't think he has enough of a base to win an election now. He didn't.
You didn't.
What happened in 2016 was Republicans, but Democrats didn't show up because of several stupid reasons. People said, I'm not going to vote. And second of all, and just as important, was the woman who ran on the Green Party. I don't even want to say her name anymore because she caused this. Because if she didn't run, Hillary would have won, because Hillary would have gotten those votes. So the people voted for the Green Party in saluting Bernie Sanders, right?
Yeah.
Those votes would have went to Hillary, and she only lost by 70,000 votes. So those two reasons are why Hillary lost. No other reason. And also, the fucking television morons kept showing him.
Oh, they gave
They gave him free coverage of his rallies and people saying, lock her up, lock her up. They shouldn't have shown it. I mean, I knew he was Hitler. I knew he was evil. Okay? Why didn't anybody else? You know, if I was in Germany when Hitler started, I would have said, fuck him. And a lot of Jews got the hell out pretty quick.
Well, a lot of Jews thought that he was for Germany, and a lot of Jews felt they were German first before they were Jewish, and they were completely shocked when they were kicked out of the house. You know, the well-to-do Jews in Germany.
The house, they were killed.
Yeah, they were killed. But
so now who's the scapegoat? Now it's Islam. It's black and brown still. You know, it's their fault. It's the black and brown people. He won because of the black and brown people. Their vote shouldn't count. What? How does any woman justify that? Black and brown people, their vote shouldn't count because they're black and brown.
Yeah,
no.
Well,
they beat the crap out of you. That's why.
She feels that the votes were manipulated, that they were fraudulent, even though there's no proof. There's absolutely no proof of that.
Doesn't she believe in the country's main dictum that
and Deborah, who I love, she used to work for National Public Radio.
You're innocent until proven guilty. You hear this? Tell this to Deborah. You're innocent until proven guilty. That's the backbone of our nation's law. And another backbone is no one is above the law. Number one, every judge, even the Republican appointees by Bush, by Bush, yes, by Bush and by Trump, said, no, this is nonsense. You have no proof. Your case is meritless. They didn't say, we heard your case. We don't think you're right. They said it's meritless. There is no case. So what did she say to that?
You know what McConnell is doing now? Instead of concentrating on the a stimulus package or putting through legislation, he's pushing through judges.
Yeah, well, I know, but you know what?
Which is very important.
Sometimes, as we used to say in Yiddish, Gunish helfen. It didn't help.
Yeah.
Even the judges he sent in there said, no, we can't go that far.
Yeah, but I don't like, that decision they made, the Supreme Court decision about churches and synagogues. You know, you can't.
But you know what? Cuomo had already changed the law, you know, before that rule was made. Cuomo already said, no, you can, go ahead.
Yeah, to me, that doesn't make any sense. That's not against religion. That's against.
Make sense. Judy, what's her name? The handmaiden, the whatever her name is. I don't even want to say her name either. She's the one who voted for it. Even
Well, he switches over. John Roberts.
No, he's been pretty consistent on the heavy burdens, voting with the now 3, but then 4.
Well, you're thinking of,
but now he put in somebody that's a if this ever got to the Supreme Court, she'd probably hand them the election and tell everybody, your votes don't count,
Yeah,
and that would be the end of democracy.
Amy Coney Barrett,
Yeah, that's her name, the handmaiden.
the handmaiden.
Evan calls it a milkmaid. Why? Of course, she doesn't even give it that much. She calls it a milkmaid.
By the way, did you see that series,
No,
Handmaid? With
no,
oh, you should.
no.
It's on. I think it's on Netflix. And one of them. You should see it with
I'm
Elizabeth.
strictly a
Elizabeth
Hallmark
Moss.
kind of guy.
It's dynamite.
I know, I know. I started watching Mandalorian though on
Huh?
Disney. That's good. That's fun. I like that.
Oh, what's running? Oh, it just finishes The Crown, which was
Oh, I didn't mind. I mean, my taste is. I have weird taste. I
well,
like to watch. I watch Hallmark movies because they're the same. There's a whole article about them in the newspaper yesterday.
you might like the new one coming up, which will be on Netflix on the 18th. I think it's theatrical release. Mama Rainey.
Oh, I'll have to check.
Ma Rainey with Viola Davis
Oh,
and
okay.
Chad Boswick, his last movie.
Oh, right. I saw the review in the paper today.
Yeah, it was in the review today.
Yeah.
And using music, I happen to love that music of that period of the 20s, and the blues and the jazz.
Oh, yeah.
As I say, I'm going to have you on. I started a new show called I told you Up Close and Personal, and it's basically about theater people. My first guest was a gal named June Squibb, who was nominated, I think, in 2014 as Best Supporting Actress for the movie Nebraska. And of course, she was only about 96 at the time. And she started out, one of her first big plays was, she did a lot of Broadway, 1960 with Ethel Merman and Gypsy. She had
Wow.
quite a varied career. But anyway, I want to have you on, not as a political person, but as a rock and roll star.
Okay.
To talk about the old days in the Brill Building and the people that you came across, and maybe whether you were. Did you guys ever work with Neil Sedaka or?
Well, we never worked with him, but we knew him. I mean, Hank, one of the original members, was a good friend of Neil's from high school. Neil was a couple of years older than I am. He was in Lincoln, I think. In my freshman year, he had a group called the Link Tones.
Yeah.
And then they were called the Tokens. They recorded for Melba Records, and well, no, this is, I don't want to tell you now because then
Yeah, how about Neil Diamond? Did you come across him from Lincoln?
Yes, I came across, not at school, but I met him later on. He lived in Manhattan Beach. We used to drive into the city together.
Huh?
Yep.
Yeah,
I
well,
remember when he was working for before he had his hit record. He was writing for a publisher. I forgot his name now. I forgot their name. But
we're going to take you down memory lane one day.
his original record was not on Columbia. I think it was on Redbird or something else.
As a matter of fact, I think I mentioned that to Maxine, your sister, and she was also involved with the Tokens. I think in booking.
Yeah, she watched it. She was there. She was, we started in '61. She was born in '54.
Yeah, she said she was a little kid shouting.
Yeah, we even got her on a commercial.
Yeah, then.
For M&E Toys. Remember M&E Toys?
Yeah.
They made Etch-a-Sketch.
Yeah, she made they probably made a fortune Etch-a-Sketch. I think every kid had that in that era.
Yeah, we did a commercial for it that ran for about 5 years. It ran for years and years and years.
But going back, do you think he's going to be giving the pardons to his kids?
Sorry, what?
You think Trump will be giving pardons to his kids?
Of course he will. He'll give a pardon to anybody. He'll give pardons to everybody. I just don't know if they'll hold. There's a lot of, you can't just say it and then it gets done and then nobody says something. I mean, some of these pardons are, he's pardoning people. No mercy. This is not mercy. This is a payoff. This is a payoff. This is a payoff for somebody's silence.
Yeah, this is silence, plus it might be a payoff for people contributing to his funds.
Well, that too.
They have a whole
Well,
priority case.
that was yesterday. That's
Yeah.
another
Okay,
layup.
And anyway, believe it or not, we've done our half hour.
I believe it.
I mean, hopefully the show is going to go okay, because we're getting a little. I think either the internet or the Zoom is everybody's Zooming nowadays because they can't get together. But anyway,
Yeah, we got a while before the vaccine takes hold, before they start giving it.
But anyway, my
listen,
son.
if I insulted you, I'm sorry, but if you deserved it, I'm not. And you know who you are.
We'll speak either later this week or next week.
Yes.
Say
Thank
goodbye.
you.
Say goodbye to everyone.
Malcolm presents.
Yeah.
Live long and prosper.
Bye.